Hello everyone, in this video I will be doing a breakdown of my Poison Mind build for the Joker, which is an excellent entry level build for the Imposter Syndrome and Left Riot incursions. This build focuses on the shield harvest mechanic and spreading poison to all enemies in order to continuously make them shield harvestable. For this showcase I am using the Joker because I think he is the most suitable character for this build due to his talents which synergize very well with melee attacks and shield harvest. You can use this build on any other character just by swapping the secondary firearm to whatever suits your preferred hero. The way the build works is by using 3 pieces of the Scarecrow tier 1 set, the Poison Mind. This allows us to apply poison to enemies with critical hits, then whenever we kill a poison enemy we get a stack of Poison Mind, which increases the chance that enemies become shield harvestable by 5% per stack, and it stacks up to 20. This means that while we are at full stacks, we have a 100% chance to make enemies shield harvestable on a single poison damage tick. The 3-piece bonus increases our shield harvest damage by 50% per stack of Poison Mind, so 1000% at full stacks. Whenever we kill an enemy with a shield harvest, we lose 3 stacks but we spread poison to all enemies within 10 meters. Besides all of these bonuses, we also get some extra bonuses by using this build during the Fear episode, which lasts about 6 weeks. These give us 25% damage reduction from poison enemies, 500% critical hit damage at max stacks of Poison Mind, and make poison enemies drop more shield. So far I was able to clear Mastery 55 in Season 1 and Mastery 100 in Finite Crisis with this build, and it can easily go higher if played right. You will eventually hit a wall with this build because it's only the tier 1 set, so it's natural that it will not perform as well as the tier 2 or tier 3 sets, but it's still a good and fun build to play at lower mastery levels. Let's dive into the items we are using for this build. In the Firearm 1 slot, we are using a shotgun with a stacked deck trait, which makes enemies take up to 750% more damage from all sources for each hit they take from this firearm. You want to have one from the Armortech manufacturer because it shoots constantly while holding the fire button, and it has the highest rate of fire out of all the shotguns, so it allows you to stack the stacked deck buff very quickly. Even if you don't have one from Armortech, the build will still work with any other manufacturer. Depending on your preferred character and firearm type, you can use anything in this slot as long as it has the stacked deck trait. Just make sure it's a firearm with a high rate of fire. In the Firearm 2 slot, we are using the Contagion shotgun, which is only there for the set bonus. Feel free to swap this to any other tier 1 firearm according to your preference and used character. For the melee, we are using Mad Hatter's Steel Leaf Clover. This weapon applies poison to enemies on hit and gives us 10% shield, which is very good. Additionally, we are also getting the Keep Your Hat On villain synergy, which has a very strong effect that gives us 100% damage increase, 500% affliction resource generation or damage immunity whenever we get 7 stacks. For the grenade, we are using Polka Dot Man's Spotty Explosion, which is by far the best grenade in the game right now. It has a 50% chance that every grenade explosion propels up to 3 additional polka dots out of the explosion, which in turn explode, and each explosion has a 50% chance to apply poison. This is an insanely strong effect, especially because of Joker's grenade talents, and it will be one of our main ways to apply poison to enemies. As a disclaimer, I believe this grenade might be bugged, because sometimes it makes enemies straight up disappear when you throw a lot of them. Need to do more testing before I can say for certain. For the shield mod, we are using Avoidance, which is there only for the set bonus. For the Traversal mod, we are using the Turtle Steel Force Conduit, which gives us up to 500% damage increase if we are constantly moving, and we are going to be moving all the time with this build. If you want more survivability, then you can replace this with a Best Offense mod. And if you don't have a Steel Force Conduit for Joker, you can just use a Dr. Psycho's Psionic Barrier instead. For the Neck Bomb mod, we are using Analysis, which is only there for the set bonus. For the Lucky Charm, we are using Dr. Poison's Affliction Attunement, which gives us up to 330% damage increase to afflicted enemies when we kill poison enemies. We are also using this for the Slow Death Villain synergy, which makes enemies we afflict take 100% more damage and become poisoned while afflicted. This will be our main method of applying poison to enemies. The affliction we are using for this build is Livewire Bolt. The reason for this is that the other afflictions would hurt our build more than they would help. We don't want to use Burn because then we can no longer shield harvest, we don't want to use Freeze because then we can no longer deal critical hits, and we don't want to use Craze because enemies have resistance to it and we are not using any of the Bane sets to take advantage of it. The villain synergies used in this build are the following. Keep Your Hat On, which is a synergy between our Scarecrow items and our Mad Hatter melee. This effect gives us a hat whenever we kill an enemy with a critical hit. Whenever we reach 7 hats, we get one random bonus out of the following. Damage increased by 100% for 20 seconds, but also take 50% more damage. increase the friction resource generation by 500% for 20 seconds, or completely refill health and shield and makes us immune to damage for 10 seconds, but also deal 50% less damage. The Slow Death, which is a synergy between our Scarecrow items and our Dr. Poison Lucky Charm. This makes enemies we afflict take 100% more damage and also become poisoned while afflicted. Let's move on to the recommended augments on each item. For the primary firearm, you want to have critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and shield regenerated on critical hits. For the secondary firearm, you want to have critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and traversal attack resource from critical hits. For the melee weapon, you want to have melee damage on shield harvestable enemies, and affliction resource from melee hits. For the grenade, you want to have grenade damage to grunt enemies, grenade drop chance, and chance to drop grenade ammo on enemies killed within 5 meters. For the shield mod, you want to have a critical hit chance, shotgun ammo reserve capacity, and damage while shield is at 100%. For the traversal mod, you want to have damage to grunt enemies, damage to brute enemies, and 50% more damage to enemies within 5 meters. For the neck bomb mod, you want to have melee damage to grunt enemies, melee damage to brute enemies, and damage while shield is at 100%. For the lucky charm, you want to have ammo gained from critical hits, critical hit damage, and damage while shield is at 100%. When it comes to talents, for the Joker, the most important ones are
Joker,
target audience, playing to the crowd, one for me, and who's there. Who's there is crucial as it spawns live grenades at the enemy's feet, which paired with the polka dot grenade does insane damage and triggers all of our other grenade talents constantly. Ultimate opening gag is our way of having unlimited grenade ammo during squad ultimate, where you can literally just spam grenades and kill everything. For the squad talent, you want to get critical hit chance, critical hit damage, melee damage, shield harvest damage, damage to grunt enemies, damage to brutes, shotgun damage, or damage to your preferred firearm, and then the rest depends on personal preference. Let's move on to the build playstyle. You want to start off by spamming your grenades and affliction strike in order to poison enemies, then continue with your shotgun hits to apply stacked deck to major targets. Focus on getting your poison mind stacks up to 20 by killing poison enemies, but try to refrain from killing them with shield harvest until you get there because you lose 3 stacks. Once you reach 20 stacks of poison mind, you can start cleaning up enemies with shield harvest while also spreading poison constantly. When you're low on grenades or you want to kill a ton of enemies at once, use your squad ultimate and start spamming grenades. Try to maintain a high number of poison mind stacks to keep making enemies shield harvestable. Try to focus your shield harvest on brute enemies if they're available, because grunt enemies will usually die from grenades anyway. That would be it for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.
Team up? Oh, yeah.
Oh, Joker, did you travel across dimensions just to impress me? Let us find a better use of your time.
But I've been downed. It's exploding? Here of all places. Like a damn missile. Gonna go big! Explosively big!
Who are you trying to impress with this butchery, Joker? Nobody.
And this is why you never send heroes to do a villain's job.
It seems my local forces are depleted. Sending yes, retreat through your portal, while there's still an Earth on the other side.